Hello everyone, as promised, we are going live, and today with me, author Siddharth Sen will be live and we'll be talking about our book, My Life in Poems. So, yeah, I'll be sending you the invite, author Siddharth Sen, so we can go live.
All those who have joined till now. With me, author Siddharth Sen has joined, and we are going to talk today about our upcoming book, My Life in Poems. So we'll wait for some more time, and within that time, I'm sure Siddharth will be able to join us. Hope you all, and thanks for joining in. We are going to talk about our poetry. We are going to talk about our book, My Life in Poems, and author Siddharth Sen will be joining with me and will be sharing with you glimpses about our writing journey while we were curating this book and how it happened, how the thought process came, and now when it is going to be launched.
Direction we were going, and we were writing something in the for nature.
Yes, so friends, Siddharth has joined us. Hi, Siddharth, am I audible and visible to you? Let me confirm first.
Yes. Now you are. Yes.
Okay, so hello Siddharth, welcome you to our live session, and I welcome all our listeners, all our audience who have joined us today. So we are going to discuss about our upcoming book, My Life in Poems, which is going to be launched very soon, and me and Siddharth will together reveal the date to you as well. So let's begin the discussion. First of all, in poems, and author Siddharth Sen will be joining with me and will be sharing with you glimpses about our writing journey while we were curating this book and how it happened, how the thought process came, and now when it is going to be launched, and more details about it. Journey, how you began, and yes. So friends, Siddharth has joined us. Hi, Siddharth, help us.
Yeah, that will be a very long introduction. So let me make it short.
Yeah.
So I am. Hi everyone. I am Siddharth.
All our listeners, all our audience who have joined us today. So we are going to discuss.
And if you know, Ruskin Bond shares that location, and in our school we were actually having Room on the Roof as a subject book. So when I was in the age of 6 or 7, maybe around, I was drawn towards nature a lot, and that is why I have I was writing poems at that age. So my teacher got interested and said, you have some good knack of writing, and that is where somebody told me that there is a writer in. That was like quite young, but then things happened. Focus shifted towards studies. I an engineer, passed. I had to become an engineer, as my father was an engineer. He pushed me to become an engineer. So finally, I became an engineer, and then life caught on. IT consultant, joined a MNC, and that was quite a long, time. Where I was not still not writing as in poems or anything. Long mails. IT has a lot of mails. And I used to write very detailed mails. So somebody told me in my you write too long mails, you should cut them, make it crisp, small. So that was also a disadvantage that I got into from long mails to finally I realized that it is not happening for me. That this is more like it is getting very technical. So that is how the life has been for last 2 decades. And then I realized that this is not what I want to do my whole life. So that is where the switch happened. The career break was coming out of IT and becoming a writer. So which happened in the year 23.
Okay.
I was finally sure that okay, I don't want to be in IT. I want to become a writer, or I also coach or something else. But
Okay.
I did that. Finally, when I started writing, I started with a writing platform where I wanted to test whether people even read what I'm writing. So I started picked up some poems, and these poems also there was a period of COVID, which we know
Yeah.
pandemic period where we were restricted to home was happening.
Mhm.
So I realized also that this writing passion back. I was writing poems every day. Was coming out of IT a writer, so which happened 23 inside India, and I was alone, and I had to motivate. Was writing something, either poem or quote or something, just to motivate myself, and I used to give it on WhatsApp, and people used to
Yeah.
like it. So that was the time when I started realizing, okay, this can be brought as a
Mhm.
this talent is there. It just
Yeah.
needs to be brought out at some point of time. So 23, I was attending one of the sessions of writing session, and
Mhm.
they put a challenge that you have to write a novel out of a story idea. I
Okay.
mean, just a one liners idea, you have to write a novel. That is
Okay.
when Adventure Sammy was born. So I started with that one idea. The one idea was a boy lost with his purpose has to find a
Mhm.
purpose. So that was something which was a liner and given to me. I took it like that boy is me only because the person who is lost for so many years has to find a purpose irrelevant. So,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of perseverance
Mhm.
and lots of love for nature. So, which is what as a character I am also from inside. So I
Mhm.
could look at that one liner and then I could think about some points and then started writing a story. It was
Yeah.
just a thought, but then it became a story of more than I think 60 or 70 chapters. And
Mhm.
yeah, and it was going well because ultimately people started liking it. The readability was quite high. Got a lot of readers, and that is exactly where I got this thought that okay, people like my reading, so let's go ahead and publish books, and that became my debut novel.
Okay, interesting, interesting. This is somewhat parallel with my journey also, because even I started my first job as an engineer, but then I
Of love for nature, so which is what as a character I am also from inside.
that was somewhere igniting this thought that I have an inner calling and I'm not.
Out some points and then started writing.
So I switched to teaching, and I have been for the past 8 years into teaching. And it was in 2022 when finally I decided that I have to take full time writing as my career. When I was pretty sure that which genre I want to write or what I want to do with my writing, and that's how I came into books. So, and then the Quest of Vermilion, my first book happened, and while the quest of Vermilion was going on, then the second thought, that is Unexpected Detour, my second book, that came in. And post which I realized that, okay, writing is something that is actually uh, catering to my aptitude, my interest areas, and there is an inspiration which I draw from nature as well. So I can say that quite parallel starts to the writing. And when you gave me the idea that why don't we collaborate for poetry, because you have read few of my short quotes before on some writing platform, and that's how we connected. So when you gave me the idea of why not a poetry collection together, so I thought that, okay, fine, I have to give this a try as well, since poetry is interesting me a lot of late. So, and which genre I want to write or what I want to do with my writing, and that's how I came into books. So, and then the quest of Vermilion, my first book, happened. And while the quest of Vermilion was going on, then the second thought, that is Unexpected Detour, my second book, that came in. And post which I realized that, okay, what was your plan when you thought of tackling this writing journey together in this poetry book?
Yeah, so I will tell you a little bit about how I found you before
Okay.
why we collaborated. So I was, we both write in a writing platform, Ritco, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I was actually quite new, but I realized that very good, there are very good content there, and
Yes.
some people are writing very nice poems, and my thoughts are about even nature, life, love in general. So few of the authors I connected with, and one of them was you, because I saw that some of those poems you have written are exactly what I would have written. I mean,
And to learn from your experiences also. So that's how my life in poems happened. So
I think I was, most of the authors who write are shy also. They don't interact very quickly. But I was very bold, I would say. I was reaching out to, I had I found three people in that group. And I reached to all the three and I said that, your ideas resonate and we should collaborate. But you were the only one who picked up and said, okay, we can collaborate, because I was looking for something, okay, behind the screen. Basically, um, my life in poem was a thought. When I have written like two novels, three novels actually, and one series. I was writing the
okay.
series, and while I was writing the series, I was also getting an idea that, I have so many poems lined up. Like I just said, during the COVID time, I was writing poem every day. So there are more than 500 poems which I have now, and over a period, I have more than 10,000 poems
Oh,
written
oh my
somewhere.
God.
Yeah. So I was
10,000 is
thinking,
a huge number. Yeah.
yeah, so I was thinking, why don't why not write these poems and I mean publish these poems, right? But then I didn't want to do it only from my perspective, because I wanted to also get another, person involved who is closer in thought process to mine. Because if I just put my poems, it will be very boring, my life, blah 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 blah. So I would myself not read my poems that much. So I was thinking about having a mix, basically a mix of poems. And before that, I had done an anthology with 100 poets
Okay.
in a book, and I saw those poems, and it was also very good experience. So I also saw that you have worked in anthologies.
Yeah.
You have many anthologies on your name, and this
Mhm.
can be a great idea to collaborate. So I messaged three people who were part of that group, but
Mhm.
then I got response from you, and that was very positive. I saw that zeal in you, that you want to really collaborate. So I thought, yes, let's why my perspective, because I wanted to also get another person the same thing, that how this journey is, right? The life, my life in poems is also a journey of life,
Exactly.
transformation and all that. And
Correct.
that is where our thoughts were matching. So that's how I chose you. You know, I was actually after you, okay. And luckily, yeah, this together we could write something and we could make something very
Mhm.
meaningful together. That was the part. I think it took a lot of time for us to possible to bring paper because we were that group. But
Mhm.
then I response from you, and that was very positive. Things working on certain other things also. They were in our life too. I we want to write
Mhm.
together in a similar direction we were going, and we were writing something in the for love or how our life transformation have happened. So I think it was great uh, collaboration, I would say, to see this happening finally, and finally we are closer to the date where this is getting published. I'm so happy.
Yeah, me too. You know what? I would have never got the courage. I would have never got this courage of, thinking about.
Together, that was the great part. I think it took a lot of time for us to make it possible to bring it
Yeah.
into paper because we were in our own zones and we were mixing things.
Forward. So that somewhere gave me a click. Okay, fine. Now I have got learn and together we can launch this poetry book that will give me that motivation. So that is how the my life in poems happened for me. And earlier I was thinking the one challenge that was going on in my mind. I was thinking that two writers, two authors, we all have different dynamics of writing. So how do we collate our visions together? But when we started working together, I saw that our visions are perfectly aligning in the same direction. So then I was confident that this book is really going to shape up. Yes, the challenges that came forward was managing my other projects along with this project. But then I decided of that I just wanted to lay out my feelings through poetry. I really wanted to convey my vision to my readers as well through this poetry. So this was a great opportunity for me, and I had to take this opportunity. There was no other option for me. And one thing I would like to ask you now, I would request you now to tell our audience something about my life in poems, a collection of soulful poems by both of us, and two nature inspired authors and two fiction authors when they come together to write poetry. So, what that poetry is all about, if you could tell our audience in short. Yes. Over to
Yeah, so yes. See, my life in poem is something very dear to, I think, both of us. You can, I think the viewers and readers would realize that. It is very dear to us because both of us have gone through a lot of journey. So my life in poem is uh, it's just not a collection of poems. Let's say it's something which is coming completely from very pure hearts, two pure hearts, and it is writing to those so very small moments because the idea behind this is that when we start living a life, I mean we have been living so many years, right? Many a times we are stuck and or sucked into transactional life, transactional work or areas so much
you.
that we stop looking at the small moments or the small details of the things which make us happy or make us emote, right? So that is where the soulful poem come into picture because my intention here was that we should write like we are opening our hearts to our readers, and
Correct.
the message thing is that it starts from our childhood to our the work career, traveling, transform. While what we are seeing there, our love, our failures, and then where we realize that what has changed or what we want to really do. So it's also directing towards a purpose which we all should move towards. So I think it's spans through the whole period of anybody's life, from childhood to adulthood to the part where they get awakened. Because I have gone through myself, I've gone through a lot of failures and losses, and I'm sure Pallavi has seen the painful phases, and also we have seen how transition those phases actually change us as a person, and that person is more the person a day before. So it has completely brings a new perspective to how life can actually evolve, maybe in minute or hour, days, right? And that I think is the essence of these poems. So I call it trilogy of soulful poems, because our souls are attached to it, and they are very there is a very clear and clear present the poems to anybody going through periods of happiness or periods or periods of transition.
These transitions actually help us realize. I mean, when we focus on the void spaces during the transition, it's then that we realize that how we are transitioning, the way we are looking at things. That is something I discovered when I was writing this collection of poems.
Yeah, and while some of there have been some poems which I have taken from the list of poems written, but while I modified them to my thoughts, and while I was writing or refining them, I realized there is something shifting in myself while I was writing. Even now, like in the last poems, I was like, there is something shifting in me, and there is a new emotion which I wanted to express there, and that I wrote it and I read it myself. I was feeling, wow, I couldn't imagine I writing this maybe few years back also. So I think from that angle, this is a very heartful experience, I would say. And yeah, I mean, we thoroughly enjoyed writing those poems, and I'm sure it has been the similar journey for you too. And whoever some of the people, some very special people, I asked them to read the poems, and they were so happy reading it. They were quite they were actually feeling quite connected when they read the poem, and that was a very happy I think a gesture for me to take, that okay, this poem is not going to go wasted, because whoever reads it will be able to connect to it. I think that is where I feel the positivity in these poems.
Correct. So basically what happened with me is that when I was writing these poems, so I somewhere connected more with nature. Earlier also I have been a nature admirer, but the way it was like proceeding, I started observing the tiny movements in the leaves, the way the pigeons are perching around. I started observing everything minutely, and coincidentally I was feeling that it's relating to every particular transition of my life as well. So yeah, that was helping me a lot. That was helping me a lot to rediscover myself as well, my thinking as well. And I have evolved as a person while writing these poetry. I mean, the way I had looked at nature, the way I had looked around while I was traveling, this time when I traveled, I found myself a different person because midway
Yes,
the
yes,
poetry happened. Yeah, when I
yes,
was traveling, I started thinking the way I have written in the poetry. So I feel poetries can do a lot to a person. When you
yes,
express your thoughts, you emote them so well with the help of words, you actually feel connected with yourself in a better way. And we navigate through the transitions. Navigating through transitions doesn't seem challenging because I feel I have now got a developed perspective after writing these poems. So they have truly helped me. So I would ask the audience here that if you have any questions cropping up in your mind regarding my life in poems, or if you want to share a small thought about your journey or any such transitions where you feel that you will be able to relate with my life in poems, please type your comments. We are ready to interact with you. So it would be a really interactive experience if you post your comments and tell us that one small moment where you have discovered that transitory phase or you have learned some different quality from those transitions. You can type your comments and we are ready to answer all your queries today. And my life in poems is launching. So Siddharth, would you like to update our audience with the date? You reveal the
yes,
date. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So my life in soft release for Kindle version is on 15th, which is next week.
Yes.
We also say it's a Bengali New Year, and it's a very happening time here. I think all over India we are celebrating spring. We have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
festivals, even to a lot of festivals all over India. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the timing is perfect. We want live life fully. So also in my life poems, and
Mm-hmm.
so the release is on 15th, and the paperback will happen near the end of the month, and that is going to be live after the soft release. So the point here is that we are doing a pre-launch right now. There is a pre-launch offer going on, and
Yeah.
you
Pre-order.
can get.
Pre-order is open now for our audience, so you can directly go for your pre-order. Yes,
Yes.
Siddharth. Now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have the link, Pallavi. You can maybe paste it here
Yes,
also. And
I
this
try to paste.
pre, yeah, this pre-launch offer is specifically so you understand pre-order that till 15th this pre-order prevails.
Yes.
After that, the price will be the normal price of the book. So if you want to avail, you want to get your copy of Kindle version, you can actually avail this offer. And
Yeah.
I think that is what we are planning, and we are also planning some more live sessions. I think, Pallavi, right? So we
Yeah.
are planning more
Planning
files.
live tomorrow also, and 11th and 13th, and even on 15th. So all our readers, everyone are requested to join comments. Let's interact more about this poetry anthology, or how you feel that you're going to connect with your life through these poetry or the poems which we have to offer you. And I'm sure you all are going to absolutely enjoy the poetries, and you will connect with the emotions. Let me tell you beforehand, you are going to connect very deeply with the emotions that we have portrayed here. And each moment that as you go through the verses, you'll realize that, oh my god, this moment just happened with me yesterday. So you will be able to connect with it very easily. And we have tried to portray specifically those emotions that we feel during the transitory phases, when we are absolutely alone, when we are thinking about those transitions, when we are in a void space. That is the time when you get your thoughts aligned. So
Mm.
you will discover a different storytelling experience through our poetry. So be ready for the official launch, and I think you all should try to pre-order, and because the pre-order offer ends very soon. So the pre-order is open. I'll be sharing the link in the Instagram posts as well, and through the stories also, so that you all can pre-order. Yes. So tomorrow again we will be going live. And Siddharth, would you like to add something to this? It's done from my end.
No, I think we are good. And just to add one last point from my side,
Yeah.
whenever you are alone, you um, get so much time for yourself. Many a times, we are lost and we feel that we don't have anyone around what
Correct.
to do, or we maybe going through a depression, or we go through a lot of anxiety, stress
Mm.
issues. I think this is the time this poetry book is going to help you a lot, because this is that not only the part where you will be able to connect to a particular emotion, also you will find the next part of it. Like after that emotion, what happens? What should be done after that? So that I think is a transition which has been very beautifully shared. I suggest everybody who is going through anything like that to go ahead and purchase it, because you will really love that transition, or the kind of emotions which we have put through in the book.
Correct.
And it will be a nice read for anyone. Yes, anyone, I would say anyone,
Yes.
whether you are a teenager or in mid career, or even having grandchildren. You will, I mean, any age doesn't matter here.
Any age
So
group is going to connect. Correct. Any
yeah,
age
we
group
have
is
written
going to
in
connect.
very simple language. I think if you just know English, that is good enough to
Yeah.
read the poems. Yes,
So yes, thank you so much to all the listeners who have heard us patiently. Thanks for motivating us in our pre-launch session of our book. We all needed this motivation from your side. Thank you everyone for joining in. We both
thank you.
will be going live tomorrow again on 11th at the same time, 7:30 p.m. And this is another request from my side to the audience. Why don't we interact in the comment section? You can post your comments tomorrow, so you can ask us all the questions from your side about our writing journey, about this book. So go ahead, and we are ready to answer all your queries. Let's have an interactive live session tomorrow. So thank you everyone for joining in, and thank you Siddharth for accepting this offer of going live together, book discussion with our audience. So thank you so much. Uh, See you soon. See you all tomorrow. Thank you. I'm ending
Thank
the
you.
meeting.